Hey, how's it going? So in this video, we are going to break down the CRO process of what we do here at PM Digital. Okay, so CRO process, this is essentially how we create tests, how we create a hypothesis, how we actually do the analysis process, which then leads to our ideas, prioritizing our ideas, and then leads to our experiments based off, how we go from design to copy to development, and then how that feeds into a constant loophole. Okay, so this is all basically down to feedback loops. So this is all down to feedback loops. It is just a constant massive feedback loop, okay? So what I'm going to do in this video is just kind of break this down. Now, how you start is there's essentially two different types of analysis. It is quantitative, qualitative, and then we add in kind of our own called meta-analysis, all right? So what we do here is this is consists of quantitative is basically web analytics, market research, heat map software, scroll maps, and all of that good stuff. So what we do there, and it doesn't really have to be done in any type of order. We kind of do it as we see fit. But as soon as someone comes on board for our CRO process, we are straight away trying to jump onto these analysis. So this is like the most important part of CRO and understanding a client's brand, understand their customers, which is a massive focus of us. It is a very, very customer centric program that we run. We need to ask them questions. We need to understand their answers. We need to understand what they think, how they think, their objections to buy-in, what were their objections before they sort of come onto the site, how did they think about the customer journey, what did they think of the checkout process, do they like the product, like post-purchase surveys then 180 days after. So we tend to look at it in a massive area, okay? So one of the things we do is, let's even start at the top, quantitative analysis. So web analytics, we look across their data. So you're looking at GA4, you're looking at Google Analytics, store hero data to understand their profit margins, understand their revenue attribution, all of that good stuff. Understand their cost per acquisition, so their CAC. What is their actual margin, because most brands don't know it. That takes into consideration picking, packing, shipping. Understanding all of them massive areas so that we can actually dive deeper into a brand. Now, for some brands, they have all of that in lockdown, and that is fantastic, and that makes our life easier because we can then get it coordinated straight back from the founder. Now, some other brands which we experienced recently is they don't even know their margins. They don't actually know any of these, like their MER, any of them metrics that we need to know for ads and things. They don't know any of that, okay? And for me, it's kind of like understand how the brand works, so everyone runs an ad account differently, and then try and prioritize your information based off what they're trying to prioritize for. So we have our own processes, but they will have things that they want to focus on and they want to improve, and that is important for us to know because it's kind of like a client expectation thing as well. You want to fulfill what they want to do as well as putting your professional perspective on it as well. So for us, the web analytics can come from Shopify data, like order analysis, all the products, like what's being bought together, what's their average order value is a massive one, so we need to understand what's their average order value, because that's something that we're trying to improve throughout our testing. Because if we can improve average order value and keep those cogs the same, we're actually increasing profit margins. So when you're working on offers, you have to look at the whole analysis. You can't just look at, oh, we've just increased your average order value, because if you've increased your average order value with an offer, if they have a 3PL, what does that do to all their costs? But which is some things that are good about most of our current clients is they handle shipping in-house. So most of their things don't change, and that's literal profit we're generating for them. So you can still improve revenue per visitor, profit per visitor without affecting average order value and without affecting conversion rate. Okay, or conversion rate will go up, and that's where you want to be. You don't want to be running tests which like absolutely tank conversions, but average order value is up and tanks revenue per visitor. It just has to be like an even bottom line. There has to be an even amount of metrics, and it's just simple maths, okay? So market research, we look at competitors, we understand, I know that's down here as well, but we understand competitors, what people are doing, trying to give us an understanding really about the market that we're servicing. So we've like things like helmet brands, we've clothing brands, we've consumer products, we have hair extensions, everything. We need to understand a lot about that and think how their customer thinks. So that's something that I try and do. I try and come on here and be like, if I was a female and I'm looking for hair extensions, what is it they're looking for? So we ask customers, and we found out something that we thought was completely the opposite. We thought, okay, they're going to want different types of wigs, different types of colors. No, what they will want, most of them, is they will want the same color on different types of wigs and things like that. So it's important that we understand that, and then we can prioritize for them types of things. So heat map software is probably the best way you can actually look at data. It tells you clicks, but also based off revenue per visitor and what drives the revenue per click. So we use heatmap.com, better than Clarity and all of those. Again, if your clients spend tons of money on everything else, you can just get them onto Clarity. It's not the end of the world, but we try and push everyone to heatmap.com. And it gives us also the scroll maps. It lets us watch, customers' sessions, screen recordings, all of that good stuff. And it just gives you some ridiculous feedback. We can also see, the scroll depth of pages, how far are they getting down? Is the most important information even being seen? Again, that's how we then prioritize things and get the ideas. Qualitative analysis, website reviews. So we go on visually and audit the websites. What do we think could be improved? Ads and creatives, what can link to the website? So there has to be a congruent funnel. Okay, I call it a congruent messaging between ad to creative, or creative to ad to lander. Okay, whether that be the homepage, product page, or a specific landing page. The copy and the messaging and the people in the creative have to match. The offer has to match if it's in the ad. Okay, it's a really, really important thing we're focusing on at the minute, especially becoming for Black Friday. And most people want a bargain, like there's some brands, like clothing brands, that can't really do that, but most people want a bargain. They want a deal. They want to save something. It's how you perceive that in their head, how you show them that. So that's called offer positioning or offer repositioning, whatever you want to call it. We try and focus on them types of things, how we can position an offer. And an offer isn't just, the price, the deal, buy one, get one free, all of that. That's not just the offer. The offer is the copywriting, the returns policies, the guarantees, the money back guarantees, the shipping times, how you portray the shipping across to them. What is there enough? Is the offer plastered everywhere? Do they see it on the homepage, announcement bar, product page, cart? What's the shipping threshold? All of these things really, really matter. So what we also do is customer feedback, which I mentioned. So we like to set up a couple of post-purchase surveys now, and we've kind of changed this as we went along. But at the minute, what we're focusing on is post-purchase surveys straight after for mostly new customers. Surveys for past 180-day purchasers, and we run that every 180 days, of course, so you can get collective data and just real accurate data. And you want to find out from them all different types of things. So you want to look at the vertical here. You want to look at marketing, retention, LTV. You want to ask questions based off like product feedback. What was the quality like? How did it fit? All of these types of things. Was it what you expected? How would you improve the customer journey? Did anything there deter you from buying when you were purchasing? What would you improve in the website? All of these things are serious data we can use, okay? And it's more reliable than any metric because it's straight answering question, and you can only perceive it based on what they answer. Whereas data, 5 different people come onto an ad account or a store and audit all the data completely different. So it's just an important thing to think about. And then we've got competitor analysis and then content messaging. So that's kind of relevant to the funnel. They all have to match. So what this does is you can just create your ideas. Your ideas are then based off, created by hypothesis. So if we done X, like for example, one of our clients recently had their size guide not on the product page. So what we done was we said, if we implement a clickable size chart that pops up on the product page, it will increase conversions and it will also increase less customer support tickets and increase less returns, and decrease returns, something like that. That will then is our prioritization. We rate that off a couple of different frameworks. You can use like the ICE method or whatever you want, and it's based off like how hard it is to do, how long it's going to take, and how big of a change it's going to make. This then allows us to go, okay, here's our batch of 2 to 4 tests. Let's get them designed, approved by us and the client. Let's get them developed, approved by us and the client, and then our QA process is filtered into that. We then get an experiment result. Is a success? Perfect. What do we learn from that? And that takes us into our meta-analysis, which is insights from qualitative and quantitative analysis, and basically what do we learn from the experiments. And then that is basically a continuous feedback loop. And this is how the longer you work with a client, the more you know their customers inside and out, the more you understand their business model, the more you understand what you should be doing. So it's kind of why CRO can't just be a 1 month thing. You have to work with someone long term, and that's our goal. And the only reason we'll do that is by producing a good enough service and feeling like they can't really replace us. And that's what I want to do. I want to be, we are the CRO and development agency. If you need something for a launch, we're here. If you need something for CRO, we're here. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of just a quick rundown of our CRO process. And if this is of interest to any brand owners, just book a call below or above. I'm not sure where it'll be, and I can have a chat with you and see what we can do. Thank you so much for watching.